Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of RTN News. I'm Aris Theofanopoulos. In what is becoming a nationally detested action, an execution of a murderer in Oklahoma went horribly wrong on Tuesday, April 29th. Clayton Lockett, the convicted killer and rapist, suffered through a newly implemented 3-drug lethal injection process before dying of a heart attack. After 2 starting injections, Lockett began to mumble and struggle before the second and third drugs were added. According to Oklahoma Department of Corrections Director Robert Patton, Lockett's vein exploded during injection of the third drug. Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin called off the ensuing execution of child rapist Charles Warner, who was next in line. An Indian man swallowed 12 gold bars in a bizarre attempt to evade taxation. The man went to the hospital complaining of severe stomach pain, claiming to have swallowed a plastic bottle. When the surgeons at the hospital were forced to operate, they found that not to be the case. The precious metal so revered across the world looked melted when removed from the man's stomach. The 12 gold bars would amount to $17,000 in taxation. It appears that when people are strapped for cash, there's no telling what desperate lengths they're willing to take. Welcome back to RTN News. Pings in the Indian Ocean raise hopes for missing Malaysian airline. An Australian vessel has found results from a black box from the deepest ocean in the world. We will find out if the pings are indeed coming from Malaysian Flight 370 by the weekend. The Australian ship named Ocean Shield has found 4 separate transmissions in its search. 15 aircrafts and 14 ships are using the Ocean Shield's results in their searches. Malaysian Flight 370 has been missing for over 1 month. Brazil is now under a severe water rationing system. The worst drought in Brazilian history has hit the home of the FIFA World Cup this summer. The water level in the country has dropped an astounding 11% in just the last week. São Paulo State Governor Geraldo Ackman announced a fine will be charged to homes that increase their water monthly consumption. Tap water will also be shut down every night after 10 p.m. Rationing water will be pivotal with the large amount of people projected to visit the country for the World Soccer Tournament. The tournament begins on June 12th. The body of a man that has been suspected of kidnapping an 8-year-old girl was found Tuesday in a park in Washington, D.C. The man, identified as Khalil Tatum, was a janitor at a homeless shelter that the missing 8-year-old Relisha Rudd used to live in. An Amber Alert for Relisha was sounded once the body of Tatum's wife, Andrea, was found dead in Maryland. Investigation is currently underway and the police are still searching for the 8-year-old girl. Aaron Rodgers fractures collarbone. The Green Bay Packers season is now up in the air with a serious injury to their star quarterback. The former Super Bowl MVP fractured his collarbone in the first quarter of Monday Night Football this past weekend. Backup Seneca Wallace came into the game but could not march his troops to victory as the Packers lost to the Chicago Bears 27-20. Rodgers will be out at least 3 weeks, including next week's contest against the Philadelphia Eagles.
We have a huge Facebook presence and Twitter, so it's fun for us to be able to talk to everyone.
That's awesome.
And just as you're bringing up about social media plays a key role in the music industry today, and you guys have over 209,000 Twitter followers. How do you make your Twitter more unique than any other band?
A lot.
So in 2007, you dropped your first album. I think you guys remember that. It was entitled 303, and you worked with a myriad of different musical guests, Kesha and Katy Perry, Wiz Khalifa. Who'd you say was the most fun to work with? Rachel Canning decides to come home. After the Morristown High School student sued her parents for mentally and physically abusing her, Rachel reunited with them, dropping a lawsuit seeking $600 a month for support and college. Judge Bogard denied Rachel just last week, saying that it could cause dangerous legal matters for other cases in the future. Their family has taken her back in and now asks for privacy and hopes to prevent further damage on their relationship. Talk of splitting California into 6 states is in discussion. Tim Draper is collecting signatures for a petition. Some argue that California is too large of a state to not be separated. However, some argue that Draper is just trying to keep his taxes local, where they will profit the most. The plan may throw the balance between the wealthy and unwealthy residents off. Soon voting will take place in May, and the people will be able to decide the future of California. Prince George arrived in Wellington, New Zealand with his royal parents in his first ever royal tour. Prince William and Princess Catherine's team on the ground have been organizing the logistics of the event as they handle the challenge of not only public events, but also traveling with a baby. The royal family was greeted on the ground by an assortment of dignitaries, including New Zealand Prime Minister John Key. So much, guys, for taking time out of your very busy schedules. Come do this interview.
Absolutely.
Coming here to Rowan University for the 6th annual Prof Stock. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having us.
I'm Aris Theofanopoulos.
And I'm Nina Contento.
And I'm Nathaniel Mati.
And I'm What's my name again?
John.
My name's John.
And that's it for us today.